All right, Knights of Apollo, what is up, guys? Hope you're doing well, and welcome back to the battlefield. This time we're playing DEI, the mod for Rome 2, which basically makes the game, it changes the game a lot. It adds a lot of new factions, units, and makes it feel a bit more, realistic. It's just cool. It feels a bit more raw and real. So anyways, let's jump into this. Actually, I should slow motion it because this starts out pretty quick. I wanted to really quickly go over these factions. So on one side, we have Parthia. And let me just give you an example of some of the units we have here. You can see that the skins look different. They just look a little more realistic compared to the vanilla game. And I'm not even going to try to pronounce these unit names. I'm just going to refer to them as their type of unit, like heavy melee infantry and etc. But yeah, we've got Parthia, and they're bringing a lot of this heavy melee infantry. Look how cool they look. It's pretty cool. They're teaming up with a faction. Oh man, what are they called? They are a Celtic faction. It's called Scordikai? I don't know how to pronounce it, man. It's so bad. It's like a Celtic faction, a Celtic culture that was based in modern-day Serbia. So, yeah, like a barbarian Celtic faction. It's pretty cool. And again, new factions and everything. Wow, this is already starting. Hold on, let me pause it here. Now, on the opposing side, we have the Seleucids. And check these guys out. I mean, the Seleucids don't look terribly different, and I think it's because the Seleucids looked so good in the vanilla game, but you can see, just look at these hoplites. I don't know what it is. It just looks so much more authentic to the time. They look great. And then their teammate, another scary faction here. We have Bactria. The Bactria, again, another vanilla faction. But, Mike, look at the detail on the wooden, like, shields here. It looks really good. So, yeah, anyways, let's jump into this one where things are going to get spicy quick. So, if we look at the formations, I'm just going to call this the Celtic faction. If you look at the Celtic faction, they're heavily using this middle tree, dense foresty area, which I think is pretty clever because they're kind of more of an ambush faction. But they're going to go ahead and confront the Seleucids, and they've got some levy spears in the front, some light spear infantry, not levy spears, but you know what I'm talking about, light spear infantry, and they're gonna take the brunt of the damage here, trying to absorb some ammo. Moving up, we got some archers. No, these are missile infantry, and and they're gonna go ahead and throw their javies into the front of the pikemen, the phalanx infantry of the Seleucids. And look at this. This is where things get interesting. This is where we see a potential ambush. Look at the flank of the Seleucids. You see how the Seleucids are going with a much tighter formation, which gives an opportunity to flank around. We got light spear infantry going through the tree line, and they're going to get these hoplites by surprise. So that was a really good play by the Celtic soldiers there. And the unit scaling is pretty massive in this. There's like huge, 300 man units. And look at this. Look at all the flanking going on here. This tree line assault that just, look at the god rays here. That looks fantastic. And now they're pushing up more infantry over to the flank of the Seleucids. They look so cool. And look at the pikes ready to confront them. They're like, men, into the tree. I don't know what it is. When I see pikes in like a forested area, it always reminds me of the battles in India. The one shown, I forgot the name of it, but the one shown in Alexander the Great, the movie. Just such a cool battle, such a fierce battle that the Greeks had to face. Those elephants and everything. But look at this battle, guys. I mean, it is multi-layered, multi-biome. You got the open fields, and this looks like it's going to go pretty well for the Seleucids over here. They don't really seem to be facing too much in terms of resistance from the Celtic army. So they're going to be able to flank around and put some pressure on this front. There is some cav, though, that is kind of flanking around looking for an opportunity. But over on this side, things are a little bit slower. You definitely want to see Parthia get into this battle because, his teammate's kind of getting double teamed at this point. Look at this. Oh man, looks so cool. It's a little framey. It's because the mod is just so demanding. It puts a lot of pressure on the engine, I suppose, which causes a lot of lag. There's a lot of units on the field right now, so, and you know, there's a lot of different models and stuff. So, yeah, there we go. It's getting a little better. So yeah, a really cool fight in the tree line. Let's go ahead and zoom out again. We can even do a bird's eye view. This is what it's looking like. Ooh, we got a flanking cav unit. Look at this. Parthia coming around the flank. Not getting a good charge off, though. Not getting a good charge whatsoever. So, yeah, that was a little disappointing. But they are fighting in close combat with these missile troops, so they should clean them up pretty effectively. Let's go back over to this other side. Ooh, we are seeing a lot of chaos, a lot of projectiles flying through the forest right now. And the Pikes doing their best to hold the front line. It does look like they're doing a good job, especially with the support of Bactria. I mean, trying to face Bactria and the Seleucids, that is going to be a challenging task. Let's see, what else do we got here? We got the Cav flanking around. Look at this. Ancient Cav marching around, looking for a weak spot in the enemy lines. And they desperately got to find something here because their infantry will not last much longer. Here we go. They're going to flank around. Let's see. There they go. They're looking for it. They're looking for it. There it is. There it is. Let's see if they're going to get a good charge off here. Oh, a pretty nasty charge there. You know, with all relatively speaking to the engine, you know, the cav charges are a little underwhelming in Rome too, but it was a good charge nonetheless, and it's creating some chaos here. And they're gonna try to do some cycle charges here and get some, you know, good kills here and there. Let's go back into I don't know what it is, guys. There's just something so cinematic about an epic battle line in the trees. You know, and this love, this interest of it started with Rome Total War. Even though, like, the forests they had were, like, cartoonishly, like, the trees were, like, cartoonishly big, it just looks so cool to see thousands of troops fighting in a dense forest. You know, the trees kind of disrupting the formations. They're fighting in the shade. It's just, I don't know, there's something really cool about it. But yeah, it's looking good. Let's check out over on this side. Let's see what the Parthia tactic is. They're going wide on the flank. And they're actually going to be able to get a little bit of a charge here. Bactria kind of sees it, though, and they do a counter charge. Ooh-wee! Good shots coming down there. And then we got more infantry pushing forward. More infantry pushing forward. We got some missile cav. The Parthian missile cav. They might engage the camels here. And yeah, we got a little bit of a roadblock between the two units of cav. Oh, look at this. Units are breaking here. Yeah, those are the two archer units that the Parthian cav charged and fought. And we even have some cav support from the Seleucids. Now they're coming back over to the Celtic front. So they're going to try to see if they can get some damage. Probably going to go after the cav of the Celtic forces. But it seems like, to me, the Seleucids are doing a pretty solid job here of just, you know, protecting their front against this cycle charge. But we'll see how it turns out in the forest. So far, not too bad. You can see that the Celtic soldiers are kind of relying on different flanks here to try to get behind these pikemen. This is a good opportunity to kind of charge behind them. As long as this unit doesn't move up, they can kind of put some pressure behind on those pikes, but it does look like the Seleucids are going to reorganize their troops. They're going to come in with another flank. See, this should be like, I wish they perfected the hoplites to where they're like this shouldn't be possible. The fact that this hoplite just kind of overlaps this other one, like, I don't know. It just, the thing about hoplites is, like, yeah, they should be like murdering machines, but they should be a nightmare to like maneuver because they're such like delicate and, you know, units that if they're in a inappropriate position, it should like really, affect the troops negatively. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. But yeah, they do get a little bit of a flank on those pikes. But I don't know, guys. I mean, this is going to be a tough battle for those Celtic soldiers because just based off the faction selection, I have a feeling that Bactria and the Seleucids are just far better factions. All right, but Parthia's doing a pretty good job. Let's not forget about them, and they desperately need to if they want any chance of winning this battle. They're going to have to try to maneuver around and get behind the enemy, and that might be what he's doing here with this light spear unit, but no, I think he's going to send it forward to deal with the enemy cav, it looks like. Now we got the general here, and he's coming in, he's using some abilities here. It looks like he used a negative effect, and I'm curious why they're not sending troops around this flank and trying to get behind them. It might be because there's some units up here in reserve that would easily crash down on them. But they desperately need to break through. Oh, this is missile infantry. What are they doing in the front line? They must be out of ammo. They are breaking, and this giant blob of Parthians will be able to kind of flank, push up the tree line, flank around, and support the Celtic faction, the Celtic ally. So far, Parthia looks like they're doing all right. The Celtic forces, looks like they're reorganizing. Mostly just archers here. Yeah, I think their army's spent, guys. It appears that the Celtic charge up this hill was kind of anticlimactic. I don't know. It just didn't lead to any great, strategy there. It's just tough. They faced a bunch of pikemen, not really blaming the player. It's just the situation. They're going uphill. You're having to deal with pikes. So I definitely think it's smart of them to kind of reposition and use this tree line. I think that's where they have the advantage. And Parthia is doing a good job here of defeating the foes that are in front of him. But now he's going to have to take on a combined force of Seleucids and Bactrian forces. Some nice close-ups here. Woo! All right, so yeah, we're definitely seeing some reorganization from the, what do you call them? The Seleucids. There we go. And I would say that most of the Bactrian army is pretty much spent. I mean, they do have a couple units here and there, but I don't know. They don't have a ton left. So I think with a combined force, because the Celtic army still has a decent amount of troops, a lot of infantry that have recovered and they're coming back to the battle. They're not done yet. So if they can work closely with Parthia, they might have a chance here of defeating the Seleucids. And I also like the setup here. Like, what they could do is move up their archers and use the, like, tree line and fire from the tree line to do some damage. We'll see. I don't know what they have in terms of skirmishers. If maybe they have the skirmish advantage. I'm not too certain. Light missile, yeah. I mean, he still has a lot, but do they still have ammo? I don't know. It's hard to tell. It says they're firing, so maybe they have ammo. All right, so they're just setting up their forces at this point. Organizing the troops. And we're going to see. We're going to go ahead and fast forward a little bit. I'm not going to cut any of this out because I am curious how they're going to set up here. But like I said, no surprise that the Parthian-Celtic alliance is going to use the tree line to their advantage. And naturally, as the Seleucid player, you also don't want to be in the tree line because I'm sure your hoplites, your pikemen will be a bit more effective in the open land rather than the tree line. So we'll see what happens. In terms of numbers, it looks like this is in favor of Parthia. But in terms of skill, I don't know. It's tough to say. I mean, look at that. It definitely looks like there's more red units than yellow. But I think the quality of these troops is what's, it's what's keeping them in the game and even giving them the advantage. So I think what this is going to come down to, if Parthia can use his extra troops and get behind and put some pressure on the flanks and actually do some damage getting around those hoplites, they might have a good chance of winning. Now, vice versa, if the Seleucids can maintain their front, use their archers to harass, use their cav defensively against the enemy cav, I think they have a good chance of winning this, and the balance of power agrees with me. So there we go, archer fire coming down. What are they going for? They're going for the heavy melee infantry. They've got 50 to 70% morale. That's so cool. It shows you the percentage of morale. But yeah, obviously they're going to use their numbers. They're going to go for a flank. Got some cav. We do have some Bactrian units over here that I guess just he didn't realize were there. And then over in this front, I don't really see much. Maybe they're gonna, yeah, I think they're kind of going for a tricky play here. This might be kind of clever. They're using the trees to kind of conceal their numbers. Parthia is gonna send most of their stuff to make it look like they're gonna potentially come from both sides. But by looking at the Celtic forces, they really don't have that much in the tree line. So I don't think you're going to see a huge frontal assault from this direction, but maybe that's the point. It's just to distract and confuse and make them think you've got a lot of troops in the forest. This balance of power is not looking good, guys. It is looking bad. And there we go, archer fire coming down. Sure enough, they are going to focus on these pikes. It would be cool if they waved the pikes around. Like a tactic that hoplites would do is whenever they were under heavy archer fire, they would wave their pikes, like wiggle them, and it basically makes this like wall of pikes that can knock down a lot of the arrows. So like it'll knock down the arrows and make them like safely fall down without a lot of force, so it doesn't like stab anyone. So it's a pretty cool tactic that I wish. That would be cool if they implemented that in the game. Like, if your pikemen were getting shot by arrows, you can use that tactic. I think that would be so cool. But, yeah, I mean, I get it. You can't have every little tactic in here. All right, here we go. So, Parthia has begun the assault, going in with the very light melee infantry. And they don't really have much of a choice. They are confronting some of the units here. We got a heavy melee infantry. Very good to see that they're not charging pikemen. Now we got archers opening fire, going after the enemy archers. Even the arrows. Look at the arrows. Kind of cool that you can see them so vividly, so clearly. Oof. Big hits right there. Oh, yeah. So some good shots right there indeed, and now they're going to follow up with more infantry. So they're definitely going for this assault here. They want to try to break through. At the very least, force units from this front to come over and have to reinforce the side, which would give a little bit of an opportunity for the Celtic troops. Oh, what's this? The camels! Bactria is not done with their cav. Look at these swords on these lads. They're going in, and yeah, sure enough, they're going to slaughter all of these archers. Did they not see the camels? They must have been hidden in the tree line or something. I don't know. How do they not see them? These units are completely vulnerable. I'm not going to say that's the nail in the coffin, but that is not looking good. The balance of power is actually, it might have shifted. It's still in favor of the Seleucids, but it might have shifted a little bit more in favor of Parthia. We'll see, though, and sure enough, that's exactly what they're doing. They're shifting, like I said. They're going to probably take units from this front and shift them over to this front to kind of reinforce it. The Celtics really don't have anything. Like, they don't have anything, and I think they know that, especially with this camel charge. They still have, wow, they still have 75 of them. So they are breaking, but they did some damage there, and they did some scouting. All right, here we go. This might be the great push of Parthia. This might be it. Are they going to break through the Seleucid lines? Here we go. Look at this. They are just sending everything they got. Both sides, really. Sending in everything they got. Bactria still has some pikes, but they're kind of looking the wrong way. So this is going to be a great opportunity for these heavy melee infantry. Cut them down. Lots of skirmish fire still coming in from both sides. Looks like the archers that were not run down by the camels are now free to open fire and do some damage on the skirmisher or on the pikemen. And lots of breaking going on here, really, from everybody. Doesn't really help Parthia out that much. Parthia going around the flank with... How crazy if they can pull this off, guys. How crazy. Here we go. Celtic units going in. Look at this. They're about to charge into some pikes, but they're sending up some support. Awesome. Awesome little charge there. That was really cool. But Seleucids are standing strong against Parthia. Parthia's got to send up reinforcements, but that's it. That's it. Well, no, they've got some heavy spears over here, or light spears. They got to get to the fight. At this point, all hands on deck. They got to get over there and fight. Oh, this is not good. The general, heavy shock cav of the Celtic faction. They're without a general, so their morale is going to be like totally shot. And we were looking at it. Let's see, what does it say? 85 to 100. Okay. Friends routing. All right, there goes slingers, and the slingers are firing at something but missing. And now it's looking pretty good. I mean, the Seleucids have a lot of cav. They're zoning out the enemy cav, which are getting hit hard by skirmishers. Even with that heavy armor, they are going to start to take losses. Awesome battle. What a hill this is, too. My goodness. Here we go. The last of the reserves are marching forward, and they're really not that great. The very light spear infantry. We'll see what he can get done with them, though. There is a little bit of a gap here. It looks like Parthia's won. They're going to shift their units and help out this battle and get behind them. It's not looking too... I mean... It's an uphill battle for Parthia in the Celtic, literally and metaphorically, but it's not looking too terrible for them. Here we go, very light melee infantry charging in, and now we got the rest of the infantry here. I don't know. They should try to push the flanks a little bit more. I don't like how he sent multiple units into 2 units of pikes. Like, you should try to get around. I get it. There's some units waiting for you on the flank, but... All right, here we go. Celtic soldiers. They're moving up. It's hard to tell how much time is left, but we got about less than 4 minutes, 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Looks like we got a little cav engagement here, maybe? No, it looks like they're taking care of some missile troops that broke and returned from routing, most likely. I don't know. I'm looking around. I really don't see much left for Parthia, but there is a considerable amount of breaking going on from the Seleucids. And now the Cavs getting hit by archer fire, slinger fire. That's huge. Oh, yeah. Look at that. The archer fire. Oh, my gosh, guys. They're breaking over here. Guys, I don't know. Is Parthia going to pull this off? It seems like the Celtic forces are just going all out with skirmishers. And there's really not much that the Seleucid army can do but sit there and kind of take it and hope they run out. That's huge. It's huge that they just broke some cav of the Seleucids. It's going to take away a lot of killing potential. We'll see, though. We'll see. There we go. Parthia's charging up this way. Still fighting off these troops over here. They've got this gap here. I don't know what they're doing. We gotta send them in. They must be focused elsewhere. Cycling in their general. charging through the gaps in the lines, and they're going for the serpent's head right here. They're trying to kill the general, and I don't think they have enough to do it. It killed a chunk of them, but not nearly enough. And now we've got forces pushing on the other side. These are the slingers. They used up all their ammo. So I don't know if that's going to be enough. Oh, Parthia's general just broke. That right there. That right there. I said that weird. That right there is the nail in the coffin. Parthia losing their general, especially considering that their ally, the Celtic forces, they lost their general as well. Yeah, this is it. This is for all the marble. I mean, there's still a lot of troops. There's still a lot of troops, and if they can actually surround in possible, I mean, surrounding is huge in this mod, guys. Like, the morale is completely different compared to vanilla. If they can get around here and kill the general, maybe there's a chance. I'm looking around, and I'm seeing a ton of Parthian units. I mean, this is going to be close. I think it's going to be closer than what the balance of power is showing. But as I say that, lots of breaking going on from the Celtic forces. Celtic general charges in. Well, maybe the Celtic general's still alive. I thought he broke, but I guess he came back. He's going for, they're all just going for the serpent's head. And I just don't think they have enough. Yeah, there we go. That unit broke. We're at the last 20 seconds. I think pretty soon we're going to see a ton of Parthian troops. Yeah, I think we're going to see a ton of Parthian troops break here. Because with the lack of the general and everything like that, their allies completely shattered. They got one unit that's just chilling over here. They broke. They could get back to the fight, but I don't think it's going to be enough. And a close defeat, I guess. That was weird. It just kind of abruptly ended. Let's look at the results. And see how I maybe okay. Well, I guess the battle desynced. I don't know what happened there. I didn't feel like a desync. There was some weird troop movement, but generally speaking, the units were fighting pretty. That sucks. But, you know, it's a DEI battle. I saw some people request that, and here you go. But yeah, I guess we'll wrap it up here, guys. I'm sorry. It was still a close battle, but dang, like what? That's an unfortunate ending. It happens sometimes, but it was fun to see. Maybe if you guys, huge help if you want to get your battle uploaded. I'm definitely looking for more DEI replays, so send it to my YouTube channel, which is linked down in the video description. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it nonetheless, and I'll see you next time on the battlefield.